I lingered at the edge of the room, my fingers gripping my whiskey glass as I watched them. Laughter, the clatter of glasses, and those forced smiles swirled together, forming a backdrop that made the night feel suffocating. There she was, my wife's sister, radiating arrogance as the newly crowned CFO of the family business. The very business I had built. The one I controlled with 77% of the shares. Her gaze swept across the room, dismissing everyone as though they were mere props in her ascent. Then she stopped, narrowed her eyes, and sneered. "Why is the coffee man here?" Her words cut sharply through the air. I let the silence stretch for a heartbeat before I replied, a controlled, subtle smile on my lips. "I believe I'm here for the same reason as everyone else, a celebration of success." Her eyes flicked to me. For a brief second, there was recognition, but it was fleeting. All eyes in the room had turned toward her. A cluster of her sycophantic colleagues chuckled nervously. I didn't care about their laughter. I didn't care about the disdain in her eyes. What mattered was the quiet, burning rage simmering inside me, the one that had begun as a mere spark months ago, feeding on her betrayal. I watched her mingle, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface. This wasn't supposed to happen. I never imagined I'd have to fear my own family. Yet here I stood, overshadowed in my own company, surrounded by strangers blind to the poison I had uncovered. It started small. Texts hidden the moment I entered the room. Whispered phone calls. Her avoiding eye contact when we were alone. At first, I told myself I was imagining things, that it was nothing. But then I found the files. The ones she thought no one would notice. Phrases in the email chain that made my stomach churn. Everything was there. Her manipulation, her silence, and worst of all, her alliance with my wife. The anger surged inside me, but I restrained it. The hardest part was waiting. I didn't act in a blind fury. No, I let the evidence marinate in my mind, letting it saturate my thoughts until it almost hung in the air. I waited until morning. My wife, proud of her sister's rise, hadn't given me a second thought. She was already plotting the next family dinner to toast the promotion. Meanwhile, her sister strode into her new office, brimming with pride and naivety. What she didn't realize was that this promotion came with a price she'd never anticipate. I observed her at her desk, flipping through papers as if this was the pinnacle she had been striving for. Meanwhile, I held the culmination of my quiet work. The DNA test I had discreetly arranged. Everything was in place. And then my phone buzzed. The confirmation arrived. DNA results, her father's involvement, the affair. Everything laid bare, black and white, the full scope of what she tried to hide. I entered her office without a sound. She didn't notice me, absorbed in admiring her reflection in the window, basking in her newfound power. She didn't see me place the folder on her desk. She didn't see the truth waiting within. Her eyes dropped to it, and I could see the tension in her stomach. She lifted it carefully, as if aware she was about to confront something she wasn't prepared for. "I don't know what you're talking about," she murmured, her voice trembling. I didn't respond. She opened the folder, hands shaking as she leafed through pages of emails, photos, and statements. Each page revealed another layer of betrayal. Her face drained of color. She looked up at me, fear finally surfacing in her eyes. How? Her voice cracked. I said nothing, letting the satisfaction slowly rise while keeping it controlled, just as I had with everything else. She collapsed in tears, pleading, unraveling completely. But I was unmoved. I wasn't there for apologies. I wanted acknowledgement of her actions. "You always thought I was the fool," I said softly. "But it was you who played yourself." She stammered, trying to twist words into excuses, but the desperation in her eyes betrayed her. It was too late. I rose, turning my back to her. "I've already contacted the board," I said. "Effective immediately. You are no longer part of this company." I left her there, alone in the silence of her own making, drowning in guilt, tears, and the ruins of her career. The world doesn't shift in an instant, but the truth does, and once it's out, there's no turning back. I didn't feel victorious, yet I felt something long missing: clarity. I never needed her approval or anyone else's. The power had always been in my hands.